Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thank you for joining another video here on Factor of Games. We're going to take a look at TerraScape today. This just came out. This is a city builder in a sense. And I say that only because while all city builders tend to fall into the strategy type genre, there can be varying levels. And you've probably seen that if you go on Steam. There's probably 1,000 city builders of varying degrees. And there's not really a big difference between each of them in the sense of like you're building out a city, you're building out a town, you're building out like an apocalyptic settlement. Life is just starting kind of type thing. But in some of these cases, there are certain subcategories within the genre, and some of these fall more towards like a puzzle type mechanic, right? In that sense, there's still the fact that you're building a society, or you're building buildings, or you're building a city, but you can also just be playing it to get to an end for a level or a mission, rather than an endless amount or a continual see how big you can grow this, expand into other regions within a map, and so forth. So TerraScape kind of falls into that subcategory of that genre, where it's more of a puzzle, but it's still a city builder. And I guess ultimately it's a little more casual than like a Frostpunk, where you're building a city in the middle of a harsh climate and you're trying to keep people alive, and you've got new challenges coming at you left and right, and you got to make decisions of whether people live or die. This is more along the lines of casual. It's paced a little bit different. It's a little bit more like a dwarf romantic game, rather than something as hectic as like Frostpunk. You also have other examples of the game, like Pile Up, where it's also you're dealing certain pieces, or you're being dealt certain pieces. So in this game, you're being dealt certain things up front. You unlock them, you move forward. And that's kind of like a foundation, where foundation is the game, not as a building block for the game. Foundation, the game, also does this, and it's more medieval, so it's very much like TerraScape. So there's similarities to all these different games, but TerraScape kind of falls into its own little spot. And you do have multiplayer. We'll jump into single player here now. I've only played on the beta. The game just launched today, so now I can play the actual full release, but in most cases it looks identical. The beta looked just the same as the full release here. We'll go ahead and take a look at one of the scenarios. Kingdom mode would be I guess the beginnings of, well, everything has the beginning of the tutorial, but Kingdom mode would be kind of like you pick and you move through certain areas. Scenarios would be more of, here's a strategic goal that you need to achieve in this specific layout, or here's a challenge scenario that you need to go through and compete, like the end of the world's happening, and how would you have managed this versus the alternative outcome, kind of thing. So let's go ahead and jump in and take a look at one of these scenarios, and this will give you a little bit of idea of how TerraScape actually runs, what you can expect when you start to get into it, and then kind of what you can build towards, because you get a little bit more of each thing. So here, can't really read that from that's one of the things that probably keeps this from being verified, is the smaller text. But we'll get an example and we'll zoom in here of just how to build this out. So let's see, we want to build our keep. So this is kind of our main base. Once we've built that, okay, now we should be able to go in. It's not working right now, and I'm not sure why. I should be able to upgrade my keep to be able to add this in. Now, I have touched it in the past and see it does open it up. I don't know why that is not fully taking the control. Everything else works except for this right now. I don't know what that is. But I have to use the touchscreen to unlock that. That's been the only thing that's run into this, and previously in the beta it didn't have a problem with it. So I don't know if it's something right now the way that I'm playing it, or I don't have the latest build, but for some reason it's not accepting that, and I'm having to touch the screen just for that one component. I don't know. The developer did send this over. They gave me a key. They were like, hey, check it out if you'd like. And they're not paying me to do a video. They're not paying me to say anything good about it. Just in general, kind of showcasing it. But in the beta, like I said, it did work. I don't know what the problem is here of why that's not working. But right now, let's skip past that. I'm sure they'll patch it. And if it's an issue with the game, it could be an issue with my device. Who knows right now. But here, what we've done is we've unlocked the gathering depot. So now we can go ahead and gather resources from these berry patches. You can see those. We can put as many of these as we want. The more we put in one area, the more points that we'll get. And we'll be able to increase our experience and then be able to unlock other items. So let's put some more of these berry gathering stations, or I guess gathering stations, in this area. And let's just see. Now we can do hunting. So we've unlocked like the next area. So what we'd probably want to do is put the hunting area around deer. So let's put that here. And you can see we get more points if we have more in a like hexagonal area. And we're closer to the keep. So now we're back on the berries. So you can see we get this one, and this one. So we get resources from that. And we can go back in, and now we can do 2 more. So let's see, can we still get enough? Yeah. Now we can expand that. So we've hit a milestone, our hamlet there. And you can see where that's gathering from. Now we can do 1 more. Let's do that right here. So now we can see that we can upgrade over here. Now we can add in settlements. We'll just go ahead and tap that. Now, instead of building the gathering depot for food, we can build out cottages for our subjects to live in. I guess it's subjects because we're in the medieval era. So let's do that. Let's see if we can get a little bit more. Now we have more to pick from. And you can see what I'm saying is like, yes, you're building a city, but you're kind of doing more of a puzzle style gameplay or card deck style, where you're being able to draw items that you want. So we can put in a wheat field now. Let's do that over here. We'll do another one. Another one. Now we'll draw again. Let's do, and maybe we have to select it. There we go. I want to select the settlement. But I'm not seeing it indicate otherwise. I'm curious why that is not allowing me to move over. So if I just, no, there it is, settlement. Okay. Let's do a few more settlement. Let's put that here, and then put one here, and we should get a longhouse. Yep, there we go. And now that gives us more points that will go back to our keep, which will then allow us to build and upgrade what the next stages are as we move forward. So it is a city builder, but it's done with more of a card battler idea, a little bit more casual. Like I've said, it's not as casual as some of the other ones like Townscaper or Pile Up, but Dwarf Romantic's probably the closest one to this, with a little bit of foundation built into it. It's kind of an interesting game. I think they have it on sale for about $10. Right now, I think normally it's going to be around 12 or 13, but this is a little bit more unique. I mean, it might even be $14.99, but I think right now for the first at least week or so, you can get it for around $10.99, something like that. and get a chance to play the game and see how you like it. I think it's pretty good. I think it'll be eventually a decent game for the Steam Deck if they can get that processor usage down, because it is quite high for what it is. I don't think it should be pulling this much, but again, I could be wrong, or they might just be able to do some optimization and get that power usage down. All right. Appreciate your time, folks. Thank you for watching another video here on Factor of Games. If you haven't already checked out the channel, definitely take a look around. There's about 1,000 game view videos, real view videos for the Steam Deck and other devices like the Legion Go on the channel. All of the games that I had mentioned previously, like Dwarf Romantic, Townscaper, Pile Up Foundation, you can find all of those, even Frostpunk, on the channel, and check those out to get an idea of like what you'll get with TerraScape. So, appreciate your time. Again, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, and also leave a comment if you've tried any of the other city builders on Steam, and also subscribe if you're new to the channel, and come back and check out more of the content. Appreciate your time, folks. Thanks again. Have a great day.